Hi there, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Time to talk about the upcoming basketball shoes again. We got a lot of them. Last time we saw the Nike and Jordan brand shoes like the KD16, Luka 2, Zoom Freak 5, and Jordan 38. And this time we have the new Hardens, Curry's, LaMelo shoes, and more. So lots to talk about. Before we get started, just a quick reminder to please consider subscribing if you haven't. Here on this channel, you'll always see a video on the actual performance of these upcoming releases that we discussed today. So real quick, we just saw another orange colorway of the Jordan 38 recently. I just want to say that this silhouette has really grown on me. This one matches the WNBA's orange theme nicely. And even though it looks a bit chunkier than the previous versions, I'm pretty sure it won't be a heavy shoe. Because coming from the Jordan 36 and 37, it's just hard to imagine that they're all of a sudden going to add a lot of weight to this one. And I was looking for how the 38 pays tribute to the 8. I guess we found one on the outsole. They basically put the cross strap on the Jordan 8 upper as like a reflection on the bottom. Anyways, just a small detail, but I do have high hopes for the Jordan 38. And the KD16 also, that mechanical traction pattern looks pretty promising too. All right, so the first big one, another innovative and unorthodox design by Adidas is the Harden Volume 8. It looks a lot like a pair of Yeezys to me. Maybe the 700 V3, but if I was to be honest, that shoe was not that comfortable. Hopefully the sock collar is as good as the Harden Volume 7, but it doesn't look as stretchy. And the biggest part about this new Harden is that huge cutoff in the middle. Now, I personally think it's a very risky design, because if that whole rubber piece or whatever it's made of, if that's too hard, it can make the shoe really stiff on feet and also heavy. Lateral containment can be a concern too, because you have that cutoff part on the lateral side. So it might create some inconsistency if you're doing like hard twists and turns on the court. But it's still very early on. We don't know about the details and materials yet. There's probably boost somewhere in there. Also light strike maybe. And based on the Harden Volume 6 and 7, they both came out in March, I think. So still a long way to go. I like the look, very futuristic, but you can also tell that it's a Harden, like with the shape that sticks up at the front of the midsole. Also from Adidas, again, another big change up from its previous versions. This is apparently what the Trae 3 looks like. This one kind of looks like the Exhibit B, another shoe that I really wanted to have, but they don't sell them in Canada. Adidas really limits their hoop shoe options here. It just sucks. Anyways, this rocky midsole is also reminiscent of their Adidas 22 slides. Those slides, by the way, I was very excited for them, but they did not feel good on feet. With the Trae 3, we can also see what the outsole looks like. They pretty much put the herringbone traction pattern on where it matters. Like the majority of the forefoot, that's the most important part for the grip. And there's also some holes on the bottom. Kind of weird, but we'll see how it turns out in September. I'm really curious to see how this whole rocky or spiky outsole feels, especially comfort-wise, because it doesn't seem to have boost anywhere, unlike the Trae 1 and 2. And this looks like a low top, or maybe closer to a mid, with a little bit of a sock collar as well. Okay, let's shift over to Under Armour and Curry brand. I was pretty much wrong about this one because I thought, or I hoped they were gonna make big changes to the Curry 11, but doesn't seem like it. Similar flow also, similar grooves on there, and similar shape overall. Perhaps what's different on the Curry 11 compared to the 8, 9, and 10 is that they seem to have added a protective layer to the upper, partially. I mean, the lockdown on previous Currys was decent, but it certainly doesn't hurt to improve it. There is also a cutoff in the center of the bottom part, like below the heel. So maybe they have added another layer of foam or a new technology. I remember one person wrote a comment that if they did like a full-length micro G, for example, plus the flow outsole for its great traction performance, that'll be a huge improvement. And there is a possibility that they did something similar to that for its cushion, but we'll have to see. It is safe to assume that this will continue to be a great shoe performance-wise. Next up, the leaks for this one are pretty blurry so far, but I'm pretty sure we'll see more of it soon, and that is the Puma MB.03, the third signature shoe of LaMelo Ball. It looks like they brought that slime theme to another level, like onto the model itself, not just specific colorways. The midsole has those liquid type of shape on there, a similar fusing on the toe box, and I think we can expect the same type of materials on the MB1 and 2. The rear printed on the outsole is split between the left and right shoe this time. Traction is almost like a brain pattern, but otherwise it maintained the typical mellow ball signature style. I think at this point, Puma is maxed out at their bag of tricks. Full-length nitro foam most likely. Dust pickup is probably still a problem. Yeah, consistent, but no major surprise, I guess. So that's about it for this one on the upcoming basketball shoes. From the ones that we talked about today, I'm personally most excited for those two Adidas shoes, the Harden 8 and Trae 3. You can see that they're at least making good efforts to change things up. While the new Currys, I'm sure it won't be a bad shoe, but it really is getting repetitive at this point. I'm also super excited for the Austin Reaves signature shoe, and you'll also definitely see a video on those once they come out. Let me know which one you're looking forward to the most. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.